Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Today we're going to restore a classic. We're going to restore a Hot Wheels Red Baron. Now the Red Baron was produced from 1970 to 71 from an original design by Tom Daniels. What a fantastic car this is, and thank you Tom Daniels for coming out with this car because it is an absolute classic. Thank you again, sir. Now, Monogram Model Company, which was owned by Mattel at the time, would put in the Red Baron model a Red Baron Hot Wheels with it, which had the white interior. Now, it's rumored to be that that white interior only came in those model kits. If you happen to find an original Red Baron with a white interior, it's extremely rare and could potentially be worth some good money. Well, that being said, let's go ahead and restore this classic so we can have a lot of fun. Stick around. Here I've got the posts already drilled out on the Red Baron. The helmet and the motor are the posts that hold the cars together. There you go. Now the posts on these cars are extremely narrow. So if you try to drill these out with a 256 tap kit, you're going to have a pretty rough time because if you make any mistake whatsoever, it's going to blow out the post. Now the original cars came with that little spike on top of the helmet. Those are getting harder and harder to find. Usually now they just have a little bit of a nub. The base is in pretty good shape, but the wheel suspension is pretty cracked and kind of dry rotted. The interior looks good. The body, well, I mean, it's eaten up pretty good with little flea bites, and there's a lot of paint missing on this bad boy, so we're definitely going to have to strip it all down and bring it back to its former glory. And we'll have to do a wheel swap also. Here we got the car in the paint stripper. Now I use the citrus strip. I have used the aircraft stripper, but you know, for the price you pay for it, and as bad as it smells and fills your house or your garage full of fumes, I'll stick with the citrus strip. It's also a lot cheaper and it works just as good. Maybe a little bit slower, but it does work just as good. Alright, we got it coated inside and out. Now we're going to work on the base and the wheels. Now again, the wheels, these are the cap style wheels. You got two medium wheels in the front and two large wheels in the back. Take your razor knife and roll it back and forth in the little seam where the tires meet the groove. There you go. Stick that razor in there and give it a twist. Now the reason you have that little raised edge on the tires is because the car actually runs faster on those Hot Wheels tracks with less tire touching the ground. So that's why they have those little raised edges. There you go, just give it a little twist. They come off really easy, and you know what? They go on just as easy. The cap tires just snap into place. They're a lot easier to fix, a lot easier to repair, and they look just as good. And just like that, all four tires are done. Now again, the suspension block here is a little dry rotted and cracked, so we're going to have to be extremely careful with this. That'll fit on there. We'll just glue it into place. I mean, it does snap into place, but if we put a little bit of glue behind it, it'll help keep it in place. There, that looks sharp. Nice new shoes from the Red Line shop. All my restoration parts, I should say 99% of them I get from the Red Line shop. Here we're going to, of course, spray it back into the original red color, hence the term Red Baron. We'll give it a light tack coat on the first passing of spray here. Make sure you get the hard to reach places first. Boy, these Spectre Flame paints, man, these paints are absolutely fantastic. I love Spectre Flame paints. If you go by the manufacturer's specifications when it comes to mixing these paints, you'll have no problems as long as your airbrush is clean, You got the right amount of pressure, and you mix them according to the manufacturer's specifications. You will have no problem, and your paint jobs will turn out fantastic. As I've said time and time again, the better you prep the body, the better your paint job is going to be. So once you get in there and sand it, or Scotch-Brite pads, or the steel wool, or whatever, and make it look nice and shiny, and then buff it up. Once you buff it up to that high shine, then get back there into the sink and spray it down with a really good degreaser and scrub it down with a toothbrush, getting in all the nooks and crannies there. Once you do that, don't touch it again with your hands. If you have to pick it up with a towel, or I found some cheap cotton gloves that I use, don't touch it again because you don't want the oil from your fingers getting on the vehicle, so you paint it. There you go. We've got some good light coats on there. We're going to set that aside for about 5 to 10 minutes, and we're going to let that tack up. And that'll give the rest of the paint we spray on something really good to hold on to. Like I said, make sure you get all the hard to reach areas. We went in and we put some more coats on there. Look at that beautiful red. How clean that is, how shiny that is. Oh man, is that beautiful. Beautiful candy apple red. Fantastic. Now we're going to buff out some of the parts. I got the helmet here. I'm using this Blue Magic Metal Polish Cream. I've got a brand new bonnet on there to polish with. And look at all the fuzz flying everywhere. Make sure you don't have something you just painted really close to your area, because that fuzz will get all over it. I'll usually put my freshly painted car in some kind of a Tupperware container that can handle it, or I've got a cabinet that I use that's dust free, and that's what I put it in while it's drying. But definitely don't do this stuff around something you just painted, because it'll look fuzzy. That helmet's buffing out nice. And like I was saying subscribe. And don't forget to click on that little bell to be alerted to future videos. Like I was saying, that little spike on top of the helmet, this came with some of the original Red Baron cars. Well, later on, I guess kids were getting stuck by the little point on top of the helmet, so they rounded them off and made a little nub, which was really silly. Now we got the engine. We got some Blue Magic Metal Polish Cream on there. We're buffing that out. We're going to shine that up really nice. The grill here, the lights, I mean, all that stuff turned out absolutely beautiful. Beautiful shine. That's looking really, really good. Well, I hope all you folks are staying safe during this virus epidemic that's going around the world. I'm going to try and crank out videos every couple days if I can keep up the pace here. And I'm glad you folks are subscribing and following the videos. I'm going to do my best to keep knocking them out, so you'll have something to do in the morning or whatever. Now I've got these decals, these Maltese cross decals, or the Iron Cross, whatever you want to call them. Dip them in the water, let them soak for a little bit, and then I use microset before I put the decal onto the surface. Just slide it off the paper slightly, put it on your surface, and then position it where you want to. Now the microset will help it adhere to the surface, but it will also help the decal conform around any irregular shapes or anything like door jambs or something along those lines. It will help that decal fold into those areas. It's got to go back just a little bit farther. This microset is really good stuff, and I recommend it highly. We're just about where we need to keep it. There. That's looking good. Now I'll have to wait for that to dry a while. Okay, we got all our parts ready to go. We got the helmet, that looks good. Got the interior, that's fine. We got the beautiful polished up engine. We got the nice clean polished base with the new shoes. And we got that beautiful red paint job. Man, I'm really excited about this one. I've been wanting to redo one of these by itself for a while. And this is what we started with. A tired old red Baron. It's got a lot of paint missing. The wheels need replaced. The chrome on here needs to be polished. The decals need to be replaced. It's a beautiful car, but man, it's tired and it definitely needs to be fixed. And this is what we got to. A beautifully restored Hot Wheels Red Baron. This car was manufactured from 1970 to 71. Now, there have been a lot of remakes and reissues since then, but nothing beats an original Hot Wheels Red Baron by Tom Daniels. This car is absolutely beautiful, the way it was designed, the way it was painted, and the way it looks. I love this car. Now, like I said, folks, you guys can do this restoration stuff too. You can do the customization. You can do all this stuff yourself. You just got to follow the videos. We've made mistakes. We put these videos out there so you can do this without making the same mistakes we did. You can have a lot of fun with this. Just keep subscribing. Share it with your friends. And please, that's what keeps me going on this channel. Speaking of what keeps me going, I've got a Patreon channel. And folks, you can help me get the supplies I need to keep this channel going, especially during this time when we can't get out and about, and I'm making these videos for you folks. I'd like to thank Jim Silva with his YouTube page. Stacy Wright, thank you, sir, so much. Daryl Begtel, one of my best fans and subscribers. Richard over at Michio Woods Garage. He sells a lot of these cars over there on Facebook. Please check out his page. One of my very first subscribers, Aaron Murphy, my brother out there in California, thank you so much. We've got William K7 Robinson. What a generous, generous man. Sends me so much stuff, and the guy drives truck and keeps America stocked with supplies. Thank Mr. William Robinson, folks. Jake Rademacher, God bless your brother. Thank you so much for your donations. And brand new subscriber, Sam Pascal. Brother, thank you so much. And I'm very grateful for your patronage. Thank you so much for following my page. Like I said, please sign up for the Patreon page, folks. This is what keeps me going, and I'm going to try and knock out a video at least every couple of days to give you folks something to do while we're stuck at home with this virus stuff going on. Thank you so much. Stay safe and healthy.